Good day or evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another episode on health, wellness, and food. Today, we are going to jump right into it and talk about cancer. Now, as we know, when it comes to cancer prevention, food is one of the most powerful medicines. Study after study shows that a healthful diet, eating less fat and getting more vegetables and whole grains and legumes, can vastly reduce the risk of cancer. In fact, research indicates that if we all ate more of the right foods and less of the wrong foods, the incidence of all cancers would be reduced at least 30%. Now, we're discovering more and more that there are compounds in foods that can actually both prevent and help fight cancer at the cellular level. Now, let's gain some protection from the garden. Researchers have known for a long time that people who eat the most fruit, vegetables, and other plant foods are less likely to get cancer than those who fill up on other less wholesome food. But it's only recently that they discovered the reason. Now, certain substances found only in plant food and known as phytonutrients, which is a Greek word meaning plant, have the ability to stop cancer in its tracks. Research has shown, for example, that broccoli contains phytonutrients, which literally prevent cells from becoming cancerous. In a study at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, laboratory animals given a small amount of sulforaphane were about half as likely to develop breast tumors as animals that didn't get the compound. Phytonutrients are also abundant in foods made from soybean like tofu, tempeh, and soy milk. Specifically, soy foods contain a compound genistein, which inhibits the growth of tumors by preventing blood vessels from growing nearby. This may explain why Japanese women who eat a lot of soy foods, which are organic and homegrown or grown on the fields without pesticides and chemicals, have a lower rate of breast cancer than their American counterparts. Also, preliminary research suggests that soy foods, we're talking about non-GMO or organic foods, may help reduce the risk of prostate cancer in men. And now, as you expect, garlic, which has a long tradition as a healing food, is also very rich in phytonutrients. Now, some of the most impressive are called the alisulfides, which appear to help destroy cancer-causing substances in the body. In a study of nearly 42,000 women, researchers at the University of Minnesota School of Public Health found that those who ate more than one serving of garlic, either one fresh clove or a shake of powder a week, were 35% less likely to get colon cancer than those who ate none. Now let's dive into the power of antioxidants. Every day your body is attacked again and again by a barrage of harmful molecules called free radicals. These are oxygen molecules that have lost an electron and they careen around your body looking for replacement. In the process of proliferating electrons, they damage healthy cells as well, possibly kicking off the cancer process. Now, God has anticipated this threat by packing fruits, vegetables, and other foods with antioxidants. That's the mercy. Protective compounds that either stop the formation of free radicals or disable them before they do harm. There are many compounds in foods that act as antioxidants in the body, but three of the best studied and most powerful are beta-carotene and vitamins C and E. Beta-carotene is the pigment that gives many fruits and vegetables their lush, deep orange to red hues. It's more than nature's palette. However, beta-carotene has been shown to stimulate the release of natural killer cells which hunt down and destroy cancer cells before they have a chance to cause damage. Now, literally dozens of studies have shown that people who get a lot of beta-carotene in their diets can reduce their risk of certain cancers, especially those of the lungs, intestinal tract, mouth, and your gums. Now, it doesn't take a lot of beta-carotene to get the benefits. Evidence suggests that getting 15 to 30 milligrams a day, the amount provided by 1 to 2 large carrots, is probably all it takes. Cantaloupe, sweet potatoes, spinach, and bok choy all are excellent sources of beta carotene. Now, the second powerful antioxidant is vitamin C, which has been shown to help prevent cancer-causing compounds from forming in the digestive tract. Now, the daily value for vitamin C is 60 milligrams, an amount that's very easy to get in foods. One green pepper, for example, contains 66 milligrams of vitamin C, while a half cup of broccoli has 41 milligrams. Now, perhaps the most versatile antioxidant for fighting cancer is vitamin E. It not only blocks free radicals, it also fends off cancer by stimulating the immune system. In addition, it actually prevents the formation of cancer-causing compounds in the body. Now, vitamin E is particularly important for women with a family history of breast cancer. Researchers at the State University of New York at Buffalo found that women who got the most vitamin E were 80% less likely to get breast cancer than those getting the least. Even in women without a family history of breast cancer, those getting the most vitamin E were 40% less likely to get the disease, God willing. Now, there is one little issue with vitamin E. It is very difficult to get from food. Some cooking oils contain a lot, but they're also extremely high in fat. A leaner way to get more vitamin E in your diet is with wheat germ. Now, wheat germ is high in vitamin E. A little less than 2 tablespoons of wheat germ contains about 4 international units of vitamin E, 13% of the daily volume. While whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds are also a good source of vitamin E. Now, we're going to shoot out some facts about fat. There's no longer any doubt that a diet filled with potato chips, pizza, cheeseburgers, and donuts, that is to say, a fatty diet, is one of the greatest risk factors for developing cancer, especially these days, not to mention environmental pollutants, things that are in our foods that we eat, fast foods that are eaten like running water. There is actually enormous evidence linking dietary fat to a variety of cancers, particularly of the breast, colon, and prostate gland. Also, a high-fat diet steps up the body's production of free radicals, which not only damages healthy cells, also increase damage to the body's genetic material. Now, in addition, a high-fat diet increases the amount of bile acid, which the body uses to digest fats that flows into the intestine. Since bile acid may be transformed in the body into cancer-causing compounds, getting too much fat can dramatically increase the risk for colon cancer. Now, finally, high-fat diets increase the body's production of estrogen and testosterone, which in large amounts can trigger the growth of tumors in the breast and prostate gland. There was a study of women in 21 countries, for example, found that those who are high-fat diets, 45% of calories coming from fat, at more than 5 times the risk of breast cancer of women who got only 15% of calories from fat. Reducing fat in your diet, even slightly, can have large benefits. In one study, researchers found that women who got just 10 fewer grams of fat a day were able to cut their risk of ovarian cancer by 20%. Now, perhaps the easiest way to reduce fat without changing your diet entirely is to cut back on meats, dairy foods, and processed foods, which are typically very high in fat. Once you cut back on these foods, you automatically find yourself eating more low-fat foods, which are healthy foods. We're not talking about seeing fat-free, sugar-free, because sometimes those processed foods and those fat-free foods have ingredients in it that are not good for your body. Now, we're talking about foods like vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. If you do this consistently, the amount of fat in your diet will naturally drop to lower levels. Now, fiber works against cancer in several ways. Since fiber is absorbent, it soaks up water as it moves through the digestive tract. Now, this makes stool larger, which causes the intestine to move them along more quickly. The more quickly stools move, the less time there is for any harmful substances they contain to harm the cells lining the intestine. Now, in addition, fiber helps trap cancer-causing substances in the colon. And since the fiber itself isn't absorbed, It exits the body in the stool, taking harmful substances with it. Now, you need between 20 and 35 grams of fiber a day to keep your risk of cancer low. That may sound like a lot, but now it would be if you ate it all at once. But since many foods contain at least some fiber, it's fairly easy to get enough if you pick the right food. Now, you can simply make it a point to eat more fruits and vegetables raw, when possible, and with their skins rather than peeled. If you do this regularly, you'll soon find that you're getting most of the fiber you need. Beans, vegetables, and whole grains are among the best sources of fiber you can find. Eating one of them a few times a day will automatically bring your fiber intake into a comfort zone. A half cup of kidney beans, for example, contains 7 grams of fiber, while the same amount of chickpea contains 5 grams. As for greens, a half cup of cooked okra contains 3 grams of fiber, while the same amount of Brussels sprouts has 3 grams. Now, whether you're eating whole wheat toast, 2 grams of fiber per slice. Now, if you can, get 6 to 11 servings of whole grains a day. A sandwich, incidentally, counts as 2 servings. Each slice of bread is 1 serving. We appreciate you all joining us for our podcast, episode 10 today. We hope you all join us for our special next week, inshallah, episode 11, and we have some more great information